I was first introduced to Islam when I was a freshman in high school in my world's religion class. We were talking, in my world history class, we were learning about different religions, and we learned a little bit about Islam. And before that, I knew absolutely nothing about it. I couldn't tell you anything about the religion. So yeah, fast forward to the end of the year. I met my friend Salsabil, and I made some other Muslim friends throughout the year. But Salsabil took me to the mosque. I'm not sure, I can't remember why, but I may have asked her to take me. I really enjoy learning about cultures, and religion tends to be a big part of people's cultures. But anyways, so we went to the mosque and I kept going. I would go to like Friday prayers, and during Ramadan I went and I fasted and everything. But my intentions weren't in the right place, and I was using Islam to kind of in hopes that it would solve my problems and issues that I was going through at the moment. So after a few months, I just dropped it completely. And fast forward 4 years, and during these 4 years, well, a little background info, my entire life I've suffered with really severe anxiety, and for the past couple years I had been battling with depression as well. And so during like those 4 years or more, I was dealing with that. But like 2019 and 2020, that was my year, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I was going through it. I had felt for the longest like I was so lost. I couldn't set goals for myself because of my anxiety, and because every time I did, like after a month, I would change it completely. I felt like so pointless. I had no idea what I was going to do with my life, and I was giving up, or I had gave up at that point, to be honest. And so, like I said, we fast forwarded 4 years later, 2020, I met a guy. Yeah, a dude. So this guy, he brought up the question to me. He asked me what I thought about Islam, and I was like, I gave him a horrible answer, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even give him a proper response. And it's because during that time that I learned about Islam, I never really took the time to learn the core beliefs and the teachings of the religion. So I had no answer. And that stuck in my head. So when I went home, I went on YouTube and I started watching videos and trying to learn about Islam. And from that moment, I couldn't stop. I would stay up 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning watching videos, and I was just so interested in it. And so a little while after that, I hung out with my friend Arad. I hadn't seen him in about a year or so, and for some reason, something inside of me was like, bring up the fact that you're interested in Islam. And I hadn't told anyone at this point, like nobody knew. And I did, and turns out my boy was Muslim too, and I was like, oh my god, no way. So we had a really great conversation. He gave me some books to read, and that helped a lot. And then fast forward like 2 days, I was at home. It was 4 a.m. and it's really weird, but I had this dream. I don't know if it was a dream to this day, but I swore I woke up and I was looking out the window, and then all of a sudden something was on top of me and it was choking me, and I couldn't breathe, and it was telling me like not to believe in God, that he couldn't help me, and all these horrible things. And in my head I was trying to pray, like I felt it in my heart that I was trying to pray, but I couldn't get the words to my head, and I knew like that was the only way to protect myself, or that I would like make myself feel better in that moment. And I couldn't get the words to my head, and finally I did, and it disappeared, and I started crying, whatever. I went to my parents' room. My mommy had to sleep with me, but I couldn't fall back to sleep. And then in the morning, once I calmed down, I realized, I think that was like my sign. I thought about it and I was like, I think I want to convert. Like, this is my sign, I want to convert. And So about a week after that, I hung out with my friend Haula Hager, and I hadn't seen her in like 4 years or 5 years, to be honest. And she's Muslim too, so I brought it all. I told her about all that stuff, and she was like, "Girl, it sounds like you've accepted Islam into your heart." And I was like, "For real?" And yeah, we had a great conversation as well, and it was nice hearing somebody say that, and kind of scary too, because like, have I really? And so during all this time, by the way, I'm in the States, and then a few days after hanging out with her, I moved to Costa Rica. I moved to Costa Rica. I kept learning as much as I could on my own, trying to learn how to pray and things like that, because I'm still to this day, I'm struggling. But there's not obviously a big Muslim community in Costa Rica, but I tried to reach out to some people so I could recite my Shahada, because I really wanted to, and I felt like, you know, I still didn't know a lot, but I didn't want to wait any longer either. It feels like there should be like a step-by-step process for these kind of things, but there's not. You can go into the religion not knowing a lot or knowing everything. In my case, not knowing a lot. But I went to the masjid in San Jose and I recited my Shahada, and it was amazing, and I made a really awesome friend that day as well. And so yeah, I guess that's the beginning of my whole journey, how I was introduced to Islam and everything. So there's a few things I also want to mention, because lately I've been struggling. I struggle with the fact that I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I feel like if I'm not gonna be a perfect Muslim girl, then I just shouldn't be Muslim at all, and that's not the case at all. Everyone makes mistakes, everyone fails. If you feel the need to take a step back, that's absolutely fine. I'm kind of scared of doing that, because I'm scared of disappointing people, and I'm scared of what other people will think, but it really doesn't matter what other people are gonna think. You're always going to disappoint people. I do all the time. And people are always gonna have something to say. People are always gonna be judgmental, and people are always, what I've struggled with a lot, people judging me for my past, because yes, I've made a lot of mistakes in my past, but you know what the great thing about reciting your Shahada is? When you recite your Shahada, you are forgiven of all your sins. God forgives you for everything that you have done before that moment. So it's like a fresh slate for you. You're good to go. So don't worry about the things that you've done in the past. When you ask God for forgiveness and recite your Shahada, He's forgiven you for those things. So move on, move forward. Stop worrying about what other people think or what other people say. Like I said before, they're always gonna have something to say, whether you cover your hair or not. Because sometimes I do, and people are like, "Why are you covering your hair?" Sometimes I don't. People are like, "Aren't you Muslim? Why aren't you covering your hair?" People always got something to say. And let's see. The last thing I want to leave you guys with, and the most important thing, because yeah, yesterday I had my friends remind me, because sometimes you lose track of what really is important. But remember, what the most important thing is your relationship with God, and staying true to Him, and staying true to yourself, and always having the right intentions for anything you do. It'll make life so much easier. And another thing that I wanted to mention, because a lot of people always question, like, what motivates you? What motivated you to like continue your journey into Islam? The moment I started to learn about it, I felt a change in my life, in my mental health, and my my overall well-being. I was no longer having those thoughts of like, I hate my life, what do I do? I was grateful. I woke up grateful every morning. I was happy to be here. I was happy to be alive. I was grateful to God for everything that I had. And I just felt like I was finally becoming that person that I always wanted to become, but it felt like I could never do it. So of course I wanted that, like, motivated me to continue. That's the best motivation. Like, you just see and feel yourself grow. And it's been amazing. And I hope that Allah helps all of you that are going through this same journey and makes this an easy journey for all of you guys. So thank you for joining me today. And on a side note, I'm going to be making a lot of different videos about a lot of different stuff. So be on the lookout for that. And now, see you later, alligator. Peace out.